How's my hair look? What's happening, film nerds? Dave with the Film Junkie here. Oh, man. Interesting kind of day, guys. I mean, I've been a little out of it today, so I apologize if I seem like it. I mean, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys realize I was making all kinds of typos. It was like my thumbs grew 4 times in size. It was weird. But anyways, I wasn't going to really do any videos. I was just going to watch some football, hang out with some family and stuff like that. But then, of course, some interesting little articles started showing about. And, yeah, of course, I had to get to the bottom of this. And I pretty much got all the information. Thank you to everybody who helped me out, sent me stuff and everything. Just trying to figure it all out because it was like, I saw these headlines and I'm going, okay, I'm not going to do anything yet because I guarantee you this is wrong. Because it's this he said, she said bullshit that keeps on coming about. You know, somebody invites somebody on a podcast or something to interview. Oh, yeah, well, this person said that person said. And it's just, something always gets filtered and lost in all the translation. So I saw headlines like this. MovieWeb, DC president disagreed with Zack Snyder's DCEU vision, which was very similar to Screen Rant's, because MovieWeb, they're garbage. They're absolute garbage. You know, pretty much almost had the same headline. Heroic Hollywood said DC president says Zack Snyder's vision didn't sync up with theirs. And basically, when I first saw it, I went, ah, boy. And I read the quote, and I'm like, well, I mean, it didn't sound too bad. It almost, you know, I started being a little misleading. And then I didn't realize it, but then I looked at the source, and oh, fuck. Fat Men on Film. Did I say that wrong? I apologize. Batman on Film. Yeah, their podcast. That's where all this is stemming from. And basically, what's his name? Abraham Reisman? I don't know. I always say his name wrong. You know how bad I am with names. He went on the podcast, and basically, this is what he said right here. He was talking about he wrote the Vulture article talking about the DCEU or the DC films taking a new approach after Wonder Woman, which was dumb because, you know, we already knew that with the standalone movies, they didn't want that much connective tissue. They was like, they're going to have their own stories. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, Flash is going to be in this movie where he gets a suit from Bruce Wayne and Bruce Wayne's going to be, you know what I'm saying, Spider-Man Homecoming. Even though that works for the MCU, that's fine, but they don't want to do that over here. So this is what he had to say right here about Diane Nelson, of course, DC Entertainment president. He said this right here. He said, that was actually a quote that didn't show up in the finished piece, but that Diane gave me. It was to the effect of, we are a director-driven place, and Zack Snyder had a vision that didn't necessarily sync up with what our vision of these characters is. But we respect that he wanted to go for that, and that's part of our philosophy. That's it right there. And then it kind of just went. Now, the main reason why I got upset, guys, the main reason is the headlines. And you know I've bitched about the headlines many times before because, I mean, no matter what, I mean, I get it. You want people to start clicking on your stuff, but it's always just ends up being just a little misleading, you know, because it's a quote of a quote. It's a he said, she said, and that's what drives me absolutely fucking insane. Not to mention, it's coming from a podcast with some chaps that don't exactly like what's going on with the current DC movies. And sure enough, Mr. Resman basically started calling him out. He said that wasn't a direct quote, this, that, and this. He just started blasting pretty much the 3 websites that I was talking to. And, of course, updates were happening. I think Screen Rant was definitely the first one. No Batman news. He actually posted the whole podcast, even referred to that quote, like linked it up to that. And I even listened to it, too. Of course, it's now, you can't find it on Batman on Film's YouTube channel anymore. They actually removed it for who knows what reasons. There could be multiple reasons. There's no definitive reason why they removed it. But I listened to the quote. I listened to even further after this whole quote. And basically what Resman, whatever, was saying, what Abraham was saying, I'm just going to call him by his first name because I think we're buddies now. Anyways, what Abraham was saying was just basically that, well, he wasn't just throwing Zack Snyder out there, Zack Snyder's vision. He was talking about the Arrow universe. He was talking about Gotham. He basically talked about how, you know, these creative people have taken the initial characters that are currently, like, the current characters that they have, even, like, how they're being showed, you know, in the Rebirth series, in the comic books, the current comic books, and how their visions are different from what they are in the books. And that is absolutely true, because, I mean, look at Gotham. They they had totally expressed how Gotham is nothing, not nothing, but it's a completely different look at the Batman mythology. I mean, similar to how Smallville did it too. It's just they're they have a different vision. It's a different kind of world. It's still a Batman world, and you still see a lot of familiar characters and familiar faces, but it's just being shown. It's being unfolded in like a completely different manner. So that's what he was talking about. It just kind of sucks that Snyder is going to always be the one that's going to be the selling point. I mean, who cares about Berlanti or whatever? Who cares about the people at Gotham? No, there's no names really right there. You put Zack Snyder in a post. Guess what? Yeah, that's true. I mean, yes, he did mention him first. But it was just making it sound as if, they just totally disagreed with Zack Snyder. They hated his vision. They just this, that, and this. People tossing around when that was absolutely not the case. And, of course, he started calling these sites out because he said it was not a direct quote. And then a lot of these sites started, managing all that, updating stuff, and basically saying this, that, and this. And, of course, certain people who run certain websites, they react a little bit too much. And, hey, Scoopy Pants, don't react so quickly, okay? I understand you probably get trolled a lot, but, hey, tweets like this, it's not helping the situation. He has removed that tweet since, so that's good on him. But basically when it comes down to it, guys, it sounds like, there's some damage control that probably has been happening with Warner Brothers. Like, when you actually have the president of DC Entertainment, her name just being thrown out there. I mean, especially 5 weeks out, almost a month, pretty much a little over a month out of Justice League coming out, and this is just bad PR, of course. When you have like the DC Entertainment president's name on there, I mean, of course they have to do a little damage control. I'm sure Reisman or Abraham, basically he was kind of going like, whoa, because you know how this always just gets thrown out of proportion. I mean, it really just gets blown out of proportion. I mean, it frustrates the shit out of me, and it frustrates you guys too, because it's just you almost seem like like there is just like this bias, and it's like, hey, if somebody says something negative about Snyder, let's freaking go. And I mean, the moral of all this right here is just wait, ask questions, do some research first. That's something that websites don't do. They hear something, they see a quote, and they're going, okay, boom, 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 let's get out there as quickly as possible. And that's why I was going, wait a minute, there's something very strange about this. And especially when it's a he said, she said situation, when somebody says something that somebody else said on a podcast, a not so reliable podcast for news source, you gotta just kind of pump the brakes a little bit. That's my whole thing, have a little integrity, man. Have some integrity, man. My motto here. But that's what was mainly making me upset. But it seems that everything's okay. Basically, when it comes down to it, he was just talking about the different visions. Like, yes, Snyder's vision is not how it is in the books. Neither is Berlanti or the Arrow universe or the Gotham universe. They're not how they are in the books. Usually none of the entertainment is going to be exactly like the books. There's just going to be references. That's all there's going to be. And the fact that Zack Snyder is just a keyword. It's a hot word. It's a key term. It's everything. It drives traffic. He's always going to be used. Anytime that Snyder's name is going to be mentioned, and the whole fact of everybody's wondering how much they changed Justice League and everything with Warner Brothers, and people are just thinking that there's like this clash between Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder, which there just isn't. The guy he's looking forward to people seeing Justice League. He really is. You look at his Vero, you look at a lot of things, he is absolutely looking forward to people seeing this movie. It's a collaboration, mainly his. It's mainly his movie, but Joss Whedon came in there and did his thing, but they're just making it seem like Warner Brothers is like, fuck this guy, we don't like your vision, blah, blah, blah. No, that is not the case at all. And let's just put it to bed. And luckily a lot of these websites are updating and everything, but God knows that Jet over there, Batman on Film, look at him talking about truth and honesty. Aww, that's hilarious. I love it. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts about it down below. What do you think about all this craziness? I mean, keep calm. Keep calm, guys. I'm wearing this shirt, all right? Let's relax. This is not what they meant about it. And, I mean, it was a little bit of a fuck-up from a lot of people. Because it seems like some damage control is happening with Warner Brothers after all this. Mr. Abraham here probably should have clarified a little bit better. But then, like I said, these websites should have clarified even more, because he talks more about what he's talking about later in the, like a little bit after that initial quote in the podcast. But of course, that is omitted from all this stuff. So anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts about it down below. What do you think about all this? Hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the other channel too. Follow me on the social media stuff that is currently floating above my head. And of course, I got shirts for sale. Go get them. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.